Hello, everyone. Kowalski here, and I'd like to welcome you back to our series on 2025 Elastic CTF version 3. Let the hunt begin. So, we are at the final challenge on the first scenario, which is Excel Extortion. Now, throughout this CTF, you have leveraged core analyst workflows like the event analyzer and timeline to uncover key evidence, pivot across different points, and piece together the progression of an attack. Now imagine if you could take all of that effort and accelerate it with AI. This is where attack discovery comes in. So instead of stitching together events manually, attack discovery uses Elastic's AI to automatically map the full scope of the attack, from initial access to impact, correlating alerts, entities, and behaviors into a clear, actionable narrative. A number of artifacts were dropped relating to the persistence of this attack. Can you provide the name of one of them? That was a DDL, that is a dynamic link library file, dropped to a user accessible location. What is the name of this file? So that is a challenge to find a DDL file that was dropped into a user accessible location. And please note that attack discovery leverages generative AI technology. So its results are produced dynamically and may vary. If you do not see a persistent artifact, you may ask AI assistants for assistance or review the saved attack discovery results in the case titled Excel Extortion. So in this case, we're going to leverage Elastic's AI assistant to help us detect a file, that is a DDL file that was dropped on our system to help us in our analysis. So previously, when we are dropped in our alerts, that is the attack discovery. And in here, you can choose between Anthropic's Claude 4.0 Sonnet, or you can use Azure's OpenAI GPT for 4.1. So in here, we can set settings as to how many alerts to just analyze, and then we can just generate how far back should it go. So our timeline is important in this, and we can save this. It is going to analyze up to 150 alerts for the past 24 hours, and then we hit generate. So basically, it's almost like talking to the AI assistant, which has a shortcut here, and then sending a prompt, hey, can you go and then check this logs for the past 24 hours and then piece together all the events were that happened and correlate them in a narrative for me as an analyst. So basically, we're now moving away from manually doing this, where AI assistants can clearly help us in our investigation. And look at this, it has summarized all the alerts that was just generated and then put it in a narrative form as to where and what happened at what time. And then we can see the attack chain from reconnaissance, resource dev, initial access, execution, persistence. So those that are highlighted in red as what was portrayed, and that which are in gray is not what happened in this instance. So in summary, phishing via excel.exe led to a payload decoding with setutil.exe, leading to the execution of this particular file. Now, there was registry persistence and a DDL loading via run DLL 32.exe on this particular host called Philips system, and there was a similar attempt that was blocked on Elliot's system by administrator. So this clearly summarizes everything that has happened. We could look at this in the alerts. So based on this alert, it is able to the AI assistant is able to make a summary of everything into detail: what happened, what file, what was generated, and then what persistence was dropped, leading to us discovering that there was this run DLL 32 file that was dropped on Philip's host. So the answer to this particular question is the run DLL32.exe file, which the AI assisted us into. I think I got the name wrong. That was run DLL32.exe. If that is not it, we can also go clearly and then see in the details that the malware dropped cdnvar.dll on this location, administrator app data. So if run DLL32 is not the answer, we could also attempt to just use cdnvar.dll. And look, we have the correct answer. So that is the help of generative AI summarizing all these events for us to get a clear, concise narrative as to what happened in a particular period and time. So that is it, guys. So that is it for the extortion, Excel extortion. That is challenge number 7, and that will be the end of this challenge. The next one, the beginner or the entry beginner level scenario. The next scenario is the credential theft, which is looking at a supply chain attack. And I'm excited to go into this detail like we've had with Excel extortion. Thank you for hanging with me and continue having fun with me. And please make sure you subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Share it with your friends. Give me some comments or ask me questions if you have any in the comments, and I'll happily attend to those. Thank you and see you in the next one. Cheers.